works with number of cities. Now it's over 20 cities in China to establish the AI-based smart city transportation. You see, before in the very beginning, we have the sensors putting on the road, installed on the pavement, so you can sense a car passing by. And now we have the camera reading, so the video recognition. But the AI-based idea is about all computer-based calculation. So and you will have a prediction in 15 minutes in advance about the traffic condition. So it helps help the government solve a lot of problems. We have one government on the eastern coast of China. I think it's the most congested city in China. And the city governments launched a call for solutions. And the company answered that call, installed traffic lights, reversible lanes, a lot of fancy technologies, reduced 10% of the congestion. So the mayor is very, very happy. And the similar project is going on in other 20 cities. So this is what they are doing. Also, by the same time, the company, university, and the government creates this synergy in sustainable development goals. So there's a reduced poverty, because among those 20 million people working or gaining earnings in this platform, there are almost 10% who are not a fixed job, and many of them are from the zero-income families. So this helps them to sustain their life. And there's a gender equality, because online platform is equal for men, for both sexes, both genders. And also it creates value for jobs, decent jobs, and the environmental gains. Because now China has another request to have someone to help us to increase electric cars. But the electric cars is very expensive. People will not tend to buy it. And only for work, going to work home connections is not very lovely. It's too expensive. But with this company, you can use as car sharing. So there will be an increasing number of electric cars on road. It means running in Beijing city. Now it's already a fact. So there's this kind of interactions from it's more like companies answering the call of government and researchers. So this is some topics we are given by the government. They ask us to understand new jobs, future jobs, digital technology, new economy, and how can they be let's say, have a coherent development. And the other topics signed by this is from the universities. They have this topic to women in new economies, because they believe that women will have a stronger role in the future economy. They will have, let's say, more women software engineers. It's their prediction, and it's verified by our company. In Didi, we have, now I think we have 8,000 people, and half of them are women, and half of them are women engineers, software engineers. So there's increasing number of women in IT sector. And they say also given flexible jobs for women in the, let's say, they may have some difficult period or complicated period. They have to attend their care about their babies when their babies are small. So they can work in certain phase of a day, maybe only from the noon time to afternoon they can work. They have this opportunity by car sharing, by a sharing economy contest. So a lot of similar let's say, research topics coming from the governments and coming from the academies. And this company starting to answer those calls and work together with them. So we will see different contexts of this. The first one is a request from the it's a need from the institute researchers. They need to carry on their research, so they approach the government. They go into the government. The second is the governments would like to inspire people, would like to empower people. So they set up the talent exchange program. And the third case is the private sector company answering the call from the government and researchers. There's something in common about these three cases. I think the most important is people-focused. Means both of them, all of these cases, if we want to put the government, academy, and private sector together, we need to give them a common, the same objective. In China, the same objective is the people. Is the people's call, people's needs, means the citizens' needs. So this is the three cases I'm giving. I hope I didn't go too fast. Later, I hope I can answer more questions. And again, this is me. Thank you. Any questions? No more questions? Please.
Thanks. Could you share with us a little bit of the timeline of the story related to how the company was formed? Who was the founder, the CEO, how it started, having the small staff and the big staff? Just tell us about it.
That's a long story. It's very interesting because it's a private sector, because it's working with the government. So the government allow us to have the pilot business in some cities, in some areas, to participate in some government projects. And this permission gives 6 years ago. And then, first we gained this trust from the government. So they give us the first task, and then arrives the investors. The first two investors are two main China's Alipay and Alibaba and Tencent. So the two main powers, domestic one. And then to a certain extent, we developed the technology for smart cities, for driverless cars, and this attracted foreign investments. So I think that's 3 years ago. So in the mid-age, arrives Apple, arrives investor from Japan, from Korea, and from different places. So now it's a mixed structure. So only when we didn't receive funding is from China's government. Yes, we don't have, this is a completely a private company, means we don't have public share, don't have public investments. But we did have this public support, means we are very fortunate to have our culture, to have our headquarters developed in China, because it gave us this context that encouraged us to try our technologies, to endorse a group of young people, young software engineers, to solve government's long-time headache, long-time problems. So this is the idea.
Where do you see the company in 5 years?
In 5 years? In 5 years, I think we are going to extend the business to other places. Now we are in APAC economies, we are in Australia, in Japan, in Mexico, and we have a very different strategy from Uber. We don't have global handbook. We just establish a company, and all the employees, 80% of the employees should be local, and they develop their own business. We have a very big complex of products. So for different markets, different economies, we provide different solutions. So that's the idea. Okay, thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Malejo. Finally, we will start a networking on intellectual property resource by PhD Monica Alandete Sáenz. She is Director of Analysis and Education at the University of California in Davis. She is a registered patent agent to practice law before the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. She was born in Valencia, Spain, and she obtained a bachelor's degree in biochemistry at the University of Valencia, Spain. She moved to England to complete a master in plant biotechnology at the University of Sussex, Brinton, and a PhD in plant molecular biology at the University of Nottingham, UK. She completed 2 postdoctoral positions at the University of California, Berkeley, and Davis between 2006 and 2009, from which she published research papers in leading scientific journals such as Science and Genes and